Okay, this is how we will set up if you are going to shoot a portfolio in the lab. So I have something on the other screen. I'm just going to show you what it would look like when you came in. So if this screen is not on, if you reach right underneath here, there's a little tiny button, and if you push it, it'll bring the screen on. We don't need that, obviously. But what that'll do, let me get out of this, sorry. What we'll do is we're looking for, oh my goodness, skip for now. What we're looking for is this screen, and we have it on the other computer too. And what you're wanting to go into is this VIX view, the black and red one. That's where you're gonna go to take your images, and then Image Suite is where you would go to actually end up saving your images. So Image Suite is kind of like our PAC system. VIX view is the system where you would set everything to take the image. All right, so before you actually can take an image, you need to make sure, before you log into VixView, I should say, if you're in room 1, then you need to make sure that this green light is on here, and you need to make sure that room 1, the IR would be on. And this is the room 1 DR plate, okay? In room 2, you have to make sure that that button that equates is this right over here. That green button is on. And you have to make sure that the DR panel is on. And what we're going to look at, this one is on. You want to make sure that you see, this is just the battery life. You want to make sure that you have the bars on there. And that means that it's connected to the imaging system. So that needs to be on for at least 1 minute before you go in and open the VixView, okay? So what you would do, I'm just gonna show you on here because I shot on the other one already. You would double click and open the VixView, and it's gonna come up, and what it's gonna do is give you, it's gonna show you the login, and then it's gonna ask you to enter the password. It does take a few minutes to upload this, but once it comes up, you'll see that it'll load ViewWorks. And then right here, the password is exactly the same spelling as the word above, just one W in ViewWorks, okay? So we're gonna enter that. We're gonna enter VIEWORKS and enter. And it'll bring you up to the registration screen, all right? So what you're gonna do in here, you're gonna fill in everything. So the patient ID is the last 4 of your social. So I'm not gonna put mine because it'll preload because I've logged in before. So we're just gonna make up one. If we make it, the last 4 of our social was 888, and then we tab and we can put everything in caps. So we'll just say my last name, and then tab my first name. Sex is a drop down. It's hard to hold this and record, sorry. Date of birth is month, or 2 for the month, then the date, and then 4 for the year, okay? Study description, you're just gonna say what you're doing. So I'm just gonna do a hand. Referring physician, when you click on the drop down, whoever your instructor is who you will pick, and then you're gonna start study. When you start the study, you typically come up on this skeleton, all right? If you don't see the skeleton, you can scroll through these and it'll give you different options that you're wanting to find the part. So I said I'm gonna do a hand, so I'm gonna click on hand. And then you can see that hand is highlighted blue. And then my options are an AP hand, an oblique hand, a lateral hand, or a PA hand. So I'm going to do the PA hand. Then it loads with my information and I get my empty box here. Once you go to make the exposure, you would set up everything in the room like you're going to image the hand. You would set the control panel. Notice we're on upper extremity hand. I have small focal spot, 40-inch SID. My KVP and my mass is set. And then once that's set, I would go ahead and make the exposure by holding down the prep. Once that light turns solid green, I keep holding prep, and then I hit expose. It will beep, and this will light up orange. And once it's done beeping and lighting up, I let go. And then my image will come out on the screen. So I had picked hand, I picked PA, and you can see that I do have the hand on there. That is a PA hand. So your image will come up. Now, before I recorded this, I actually did 3 images. So you can see this is 1-1, 1-2, and 1-3. Okay. Now, when I'm done making all the exposures I need to, let me first tell you too, you can change things up here. Like I can rotate it clockwise. I'm going to go back to the beginning. I can rotate it counterclockwise. I can free do what I want with it. Let me go back this way. I can flip it, and I can mirror it. Like turn it over. I can zoom, I can pan, I can change the window level and the window width by clicking this. I can do all kinds of things. I can annotate a right and a left, or I can add a text box. Okay, all of those functions are there. But when I'm done with everything and I'm ready to get out of this and store these, what I'm going to do is come down here and click exit. And then it's going to tell me, do you want to exit? So I'm going to tell it exit. And it's going to come up and it's going to tell me that there are DICOM items that are being sent. Do I want to exit instantly? I'm going to tell it no. And once all of these things here say done, then I can go ahead and exit again. So I'm going to go back over here and hit exit. And then exit again. And it's going to take me out of VixView. And then in my image suite, because those were stored here, then I'm going to double click on image suite. It's going to open up this screen, which is a little bit different and it takes just a minute. And on here, the user ID, if you click, it's station. And then the password is access1. It's ACCESS and the number 1, and then enter. Now, while that's coming up, if you forget the passwords, there is this white paper right here that tells you if you're launching ViewWorks, the login is ViewWorks, the password is ViewWorks. When you're in Image Suite, the password is access1 right there. So when you click on the login, station is what you want. Okay. Now, if we look at these and we look at today, we see that I'm in there where I shot. So this is how I would go in and save my images, which is a separate video. But this is the login for Image Suite. So that's how you would set up your portfolio. And then if you watch the other video for how you save your images, if we just click on that, I can show you that the 3 images that we took should be in there. Of course it's not, because I'm trying to record this. Well, you'll have to just take my word for it that there's 3 of them in there. Of course, it's not going to show, but take my word for it. Normally that should work. So this is how you set up to take your image portfolio, set up the computer, and then the other video will show you how you save your images. Alrighty, have a great day. Thank you.